home. Did you see how they stood up for each other? Come on, people. Let's stand up like we did for 9/11. When we find out somebody tried to come into our country and tear it up, and then come to find out our own people did it to us. Ain't that a hot, juicy mess? Remember when we were saying stuff and you said it was a conspiracy theory? Now we know. Documents have confirmed what we were saying the whole time. Well up, well up. Okay. I'm just saying. Sacrifice all them people for what? You don't think they'll do it to you? You see what they did to Miss Good and Alex? That messed your head up, didn't you? You won't know what to do if we're not fighting each other anymore. But why are we fighting? Let's meet each other in the middle and come up with a plan. Okay, let's meet each other. Let me tell you something. We ain't always got to agree. There gonna be some parts that we ain't gonna agree, but one thing that we agree about, don't mess with them children. That's what we agree with. We also agree with why we just massacring people just to be massacring. Why we just hurting people just to be hurting. Why we locking people up in the middle of the day and letting them go in the middle of the night in the snow with no shoes? Why are we doing that? That's so inhumane. Why are we doing that? Have we forgot what it is to be human? Are we going to check AI on that? What it means to be human. When AI gets out like that, are we going to have parameters around AI to say what is human and what is not? Because we don't need that to get out of control. Or we're going to be our robot. And we don't want that to be our future. Let's put some parameters in place. How about we find ways to have a conversation that put a pause so we see life differently? Okay. In all areas. All areas. Let's lock up some of the internet to where it can't be with children. To where they gotta get approval from adults before even going on certain sites. And if they try to do something, it's gonna ask for their ID number. That's what I say. If we're gonna do something with these children that's under the age of 16 getting on these sites, ask for the ID number. If we're gonna do something, ask for the ID number. Because you already got IDs on everybody. So ask for ID number. And when they try to make up when it ain't a real one, it's going to kick them out. That's all I'm saying. Don't make it difficult. Make it easy. Okay. This will cause us to quit blaming somebody else for our problems and look right here in the mirror and say, where I miss it. We can only meet people fully where we admit ourselves. Remember that next time you say you want a real relationship, it'll cause you to take off the mask. Lay it on the table, and don't bring your representative to the party because nobody wants your rep, because that's fake. We have so many adults who were never taught how to feel safe. So they seek safety and validation on the outside of them because of a plethora of challenges that occurred in childhood processes. So I ask you, what emotions from your childhood push you in a corner and it calls you to make a whole bunch of vows and not do or be? I hate them. I never be like them. I never do this. I never do that. You know, never is a vow. Be careful with that. We made a lot of vows when we was kids and we don't remember. There's a connection to that. That's when we come back and we get to renounce all them vows from childhood, from teenage years, from our 20s. We get to renounce that stuff because that stuff come back. Because remember, by your words you were justified and by your words you were condemned. Just like they do when the police arrest you, they say, you have the right to remain silent, and whatever you say will be held against you in a court of law. Well, whatever you say against you in this earth realm will be held against you in a court of the spirit realm. Okay, remember that. All right. A vow is a vow. See, the vows we all made is playing out on the big stage. If it's over there, there's a small amount of it in you, even if you say it's not. Where are you trying to control situations? In your own life. That's the control. That's still a narcissistic attitude because you're trying to control something in your life. You ain't trying to control somebody else. But where are you trying to control somebody else? Where are you trying to say the FBAs are the less when you know they are the best? That's why you're trying to steal all the inventions. That's why you try to steal all the dance craze. That's why you try to steal all their ideas. That's why you take everything that they're doing. You go on somebody's page that has a little following, and then you take their stuff because you have 1,000 followers. So you take their stuff and you put it on your page and think you get away with it. You didn't get away with none of that because your ancestors saw it, my ancestors saw it, their ancestors saw it. So guess what? You ain't get away with nothing. Because in the spirit realm, you're going to have to pay for that. So what you do in the dark will be found in the light. It always comes here. While we get to protest and speak our minds, are we helping that little girl and that little boy on the inside of us here that's hitting on the basement doors? Help me, let me out. That's your true shadow. That's what your shadow work is. It's you letting your inner child out. Not pretending that you did it and trying to sell the shadow book and doing the marketing, but you ain't opened it. Hush your fuss and get on the bus. I'm being commissioned to aid in the process by sharing how I overcame everything meant to keep me from coming into my identity. I ain't judging nobody because I'm always doing my work. I had to believe in myself and God. And let me tell you, and when God be telling about myself, I'm like, But I take it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you take it, that means you will take you gonna take that butt whooping, okay? But I had to find me before I could find God. Let's talk about that. That means I had to ask myself, why is that bothering me? Why is that setting you off? Why does that hurt you? Why is that word bothering you so bad? Like, find out what that word means to you. Find out what that word means. Find out what that word means to your ancestors. And take the power of that word out of you. We're taught he's on the outside of us, but God is on the inside waiting to be tagged into our battles. 2 Corinthians 10 and Ephesians 6 both says, we're fighting principalities, rulers of the darkness, and spiritual wickedness in high places. This is when negative thinking has gone on for so long in the norm in the society. All them isms, racism, sexism, all these isms, where we do all this stuff to people that hold them back on purpose when you know that they have the verdure to do it. That's why you get upset and you say, well, why can't we have this type of month? Everybody get their month. Matter of fact, Caucasians got a whole year. So why you want a month? I don't understand. Like, talk to me about that. So, you got 12 months. I don't understand. See that selfishness in that? Yeah. This is what every ascended master fought against. The mindsets of us who complain but don't want to do the work because they said it like this. Well, Jesus said it like this. Buddha said it like that too. Hecate said it like that. Hare Krishna said it like that too. And they said it like that in Ifa as well. But they brought it down to so much wisdom. Let me tell you, when Yoruba people talk, it is such a beautiful phrase. So Jesus said, your traditions are making the word of God of no effect. Where are you blocking the flow of the effect of the magic of what is supposed to happen because you want to do it your way? By complaining because you don't want to do the work or don't know how to do the work, and there's a dip in morale because to get out is ancestral or generational. So it requires you to get past the level to get uncomfortable and get past that plateau of complacency or complicitness. Well, I don't want to choose a side. Well, you just chose a side when you didn't choose one. Yes, you did. This is how it's always been done. You just chose a side too, and that world is breaking apart right now. Don't you see their faces falling apart and everything falling apart and nothing is working and people is losing their mind and they backtracking on their words, they being found in perjury and all this stuff. That wasn't happening before, was it? If you see this whole world is collapsing and a new one is building. We get to choose. So what are we going to do? Are we going to do the good for us? Or are we going to hold ourselves back again? Let's do something good. When are we going to respect each other? Yes, we know the FBAs was here first. We know everybody's life is important because we are human race. What are you willing to bring to life? What do you truly believe? Not what your mama, your daddy, your grandma, and everything taught you as a child. What do you believe? Right now, what do you believe? Will you stake your life on it? It's time to operate in it right now. You can change your world with one thing you do to light this whole world up. Fight for your dream while hurting none. Because God said, as long as you don't hurt yourself or hurt nobody else, you can build whatever you want. We've learned a lot in the last few weeks, close to a month now. Excuse me, confirmation word. Do what is right for you. Nobody lives your life but you. Be sovereign, not controlled. Think for yourself, not what the neighborhood. The neighborhood is saying this. Fuck the neighborhood. What do you believe? If you protect those that can't and don't know how to protect themselves, there is something that Malcolm X said before he was massacred, assassinated. He said, black people love me. Martin Luther King said the same thing. Black people love me. It's the ones who don't know who they are that are the dangerous ones. Think about that for a minute. Bring your dream to life no matter what you see in front of you. May the force be with you as you go in power. As you go, and the power of God be with you as you move. There are some freebies and a link to my podcast with the Women's Leveling Up that was done and made in magazines I was in September, October, December, and January. Look in the description below to see a few things that truly light you up and leave everything else behind. I cannot wait to talk to you soon. Remember, I placed my link to my own personal bookstore. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. Let's read an excerpt. What's this one right here? Oh, peace. 56. Page 56. Rest in me, I'll never fail you. I told you I am here to fulfill what I said in times past. Trust me, and see what I'll do for you. There's nothing too hard for me. Relax your hold and rest in me. My God. And don't forget about my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change. Both of those books are shadow activity books. And honey, I haven't seen anything like it. God said, well, make it. I said, well, say less. So you get a word of knowledge, okay? You get to have fun in this book. And then you get an exercise. Three things in this book, you get to have a hunt. You get to go look around and have fun, okay? And then number 3, you get a shadow question. Not so nice, because I sat up a lot of nights because I couldn't sleep, okay? And I came up with these questions, crying and everything. Okay, number 4, you get a color page. God asked me to keep it between the age of 5 and 10 because most childhood wounding happen between the age of 5 and 10. By the age of 10, it is solidified. And yes, no, it's by the age of 7, it's solidified. And by the age of 10, it's really set in the system. Yes, the people that you thought that was going to protect you will protect you, but they didn't know how to protect themselves. Why? Because they wasn't nobody there to show them how to protect. Yeah, they could have this, but they didn't have the bandwidth. You know why they didn't have the bandwidth? Because their heroes was taken from them. 10 of their heroes were taken from them in 1 year. In a matter of 6 months to a year. That's a lot of people that you look up to is gone. So I'm not giving them an excuse, but I do understand. And I put myself in their shoes. And then by the age of 21 and 25, it is your responsibility to find your way out of the situation. Yes, it is our responsibility then to find our way out. Because then we are grown and we think we know everything and nobody can tell us nothing. And then the 15 you get 4 pages, it's 22 chapters per book. You get 4 pages of drawing, sketching, doodling, write down your dreams, write down your visions, going at it. Why? Because the closer you get to God, you start having them Stranger Things, those Doctor Who, those X-File moments, those moments that you can't explain.